Hello everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we tonight? In Australia, it is Wednesday morning. Okay, I want to get straight into it today. I've been watching for most of this week the information. We keep getting that Page of Swords, don't we? The information slowly being prized out. And of course, we've got more revelations around Deutsche Bank and money laundering being flagged for Kushner and Trump. We now have Cohen coming out again. Of course, we know the investigation into the Cohen matters is ongoing. And Cohen has come out today and said that, in the last 48 hours, and has said that Trump's lawyer actually asked him again, to lie. And the lie was around Ivanka Trump and Ivanka Trump's knowledge of the Moscow Trump Tower. So when we were pulling those cards months ago, and the fact that she actually, her counsel approached Mueller, that's in the Mueller report, all of that is suggesting that Ivanka Trump is in a legal peril as well, and that the president actually tried to protect her at that stage. So we've got this slow drip of truth. What I want to look at today, among other things, is Nancy Pelosi's strategy of waiting until enough of the truth is out there so that their impeachment inquiry has the support of the Republicans as well, some of the Republicans or enough of the Republicans, as well as the Democrats, so that when it does proceed to a trial in the Senate where the Republicans hold the majority, a reasonable majority, that it will put the pressure on those Republicans who are driving those covered wagons to actually vote for impeachment. Now, I've never seen that it would never get to an actual impeachment. That was my reading months ago. I probably should update that. But my impression is still that this president, when he is cornered, when there is no one a handful only driving those covered wagons, when the battle is essentially lost, then he will step down. Or it could proceed to impeachment. But Nancy Pelosi is waiting. Now, when I opened up this reading, I got clear images of knights. The knights have been coming forward in my other readings this morning for other purposes. I'm getting knights. When I tuned in, the images that Spirit was giving me was of knights, and they are marshalled and getting ready to go. So I feel that we're not a long way from that impeachment inquiry. I really don't. However, Pelosi is copying it. She's holding the line and she's copying it. So I want to have a look at whether or not her strategy, her political strategy to wait and bring everyone along, to allow the truth to come out, to allow his financial records, I think, are key. Is this the correct strategy? Okay. So let's just ask, what is her strategy? Let's have a look at that. Then we'll ask if it's working. And then we might look at the actual inquiry itself and who might support that. So let's have a look. So what is Nancy Pelosi's strategy, impeachment strategy? What is her strategy? I feel that she doesn't even want to go there. I feel that she thinks that the president has demonstrated enough criminal activity for the Republicans to actually put the pressure on him to resign, or law enforcement as well. I feel that's where she originally started out. So what is Pelosi's strategy? Nancy Pelosi, an iron fist. What is her strategy? And it's needed. It's needed in America. Boy. Anyway, on with the reading. Okay. Nancy Pelosi, what is her impeachment strategy? What is her strategy here with Donald Trump? Her impeachment strategy. What is Nancy Pelosi's? All right, let's have a look at this. Okay, so she's concerned about loss here. And this has been one of the criticisms coming forward, that if she waits when there actually has been wrongdoing and waits up until the 2020, gives the GOP, the Republicans, more time to obstruct, to potentially sorry about the dogs there, potentially a president who's broken the law in the White House. Should she be doing that? But this is a signifier card. She is not just concerned about the loss, it's the reaction to the loss. And this is an insight that came through this morning for me when I realised that how would the Republicans spin if it did make it to the Senate and the impeachment trial failed because of, what we know. We know how the Republicans operate. What would happen then? How would the Republicans spin the loss? The president has been exonerated. All right, now she's challenged by, this is the card of being really, knifed in the back. Now, I'm not saying people are knifing Nancy Pelosi in the back. The Democrats are, I think, reasonably united under the circumstances. But this is her challenge. It's the lack of support, moving away from that strategy. Nancy at the moment, and also the Democrats at the moment, and the wider electorate. There's a lot of anxiety and fear here. This is the Nine of Swords, and the anxiety and fear is that Trump and his aiders and abettors are actually going to get away with something criminal. This is also anxiety on their part. It's really a highly charged, anxious situation. Now, we have in the past the Queen of Swords. This is actually Pelosi, but it's beyond Pelosi. It's the other representatives. It's actually the law. I feel Nancy Pelosi is not waiting, but is also looking to the courts to actually move forward with the law, including around the president and William Barr's strategy to obstruct. Now, what's hanging over all of this is the devil, unfortunately. This is, being chained to this president. This is the Republicans. And so this is really where her battle is at. Her battle is with Republicans who are chained to this president. And, of course, we know the devil brings forward avarice and greed. All right, the Two of Swords. It's suggesting really heavy forces on Nancy Pelosi. We can see this in the number of Democrats now coming forward and demanding an impeachment inquiry. This is suggesting in the near future, because of the weight of the evidence against Donald Trump. Let me just open that door for this dog. Rocky, shush. Sorry. He's a little French bulldog, and the other dogs have gone for a walk and he's been left behind, so he's going a bit nutso. Right, back to the reading. The weight, Rocky, shush. The weight of evidence that is mounting on this president is suggesting that she's going to have to compromise. There is a decision point looming for Pelosi in the not too distant future. At the moment, you've got so much coming forward here, so much daily, something new breaks. And so this is the Chariot suggesting that Nancy Pelosi will be unable to hold back the tide here. Now, the atmosphere around is illumination, and this is coming from, as I said, that prizing open of the truth here. The hopes and fears. She wants new starts for America. This is her the hope that she holds here. This is why she's standing firm. And we've got the Eight of Pentacles, which is the building from the ground up. This is the building of evidence, suggesting that perhaps she may have to move to an impeachment inquiry in the not too distant future because of the evidence coming out. Rocky, shush, around around Trump, the Trump Russia, the deals that potentially could have been made, and the sword of truth here, suggesting that this truth You can't hold it back. Look at this card. You absolutely can't hold back the sword of truth. And what's hidden from our view here is strength and endurance. I feel that the Democrats are actually however this pans out, whatever the breaking news may be, particularly around Trump's financials, we have the judge now ruling that they should be handed to Congress, those financials, and that will now be appealed. So, and I'll read on that later. That's her strategy. That's what we need to know about her strategy. Let's ask if where the Republicans and the Democrats are at with an impeachment inquiry in the House, and I guess and the Senate. Well, we know that they're not there yet, are they? But we have, as I said, almost this daily drip prizing open of the truth. Poor little Rocky, I'll take him for a walk after the readings. He won't miss out. Okay, let's back to Pelosi. Let's ask if her strategy is working. Let's just have a look at that. Is Pelosi's strategy working? Ooh, I'm feeling the courts are being now, they're because of what's occurring, this obstruction. The pressure is on them to rule fairly quickly. Now, as we know, Trump and Barr are trying to run out the clock, but the courts are actually bringing these matters forward quite quickly. This is the law. This is the strength of the law that she's relying on. Okay, so is Pelosi's strategy working? Yes, that's what I'm feeling. It is. It is working. Is Pelosi's strategy working? All right, yeah, it's bringing forward things very quickly. Again, because of the obstruction in the Congress, the law's actually saying we can't delay. We have to rule very quickly. All right, now she is challenged at the moment by unity here, by needing the broader support here for the impeachment inquiry. William Barr is the foundation of the reading. Give enough rope to that person and he will trip himself up. Of course, we know now he doesn't want to be held in contempt, and he's offering some flexibility to Adam Schiff's committee. Whether Adam Schiff will hold him in contempt is yet to be seen. Here is our knight here. The forces are slowly marshalling here. So her strategy has actually in some way encouraged action. Right, the King of Wands. It's also encouraging the focus on congressional authority. Endings and beginnings, and the world. The world is watching. Imagine how the institutions in America, how they feel that the world might be viewing them at the moment with this constitutional crisis, with this obstruction here of the co-equal branch of power. And this daily drip of truth here, where we understand that Deutsche Bank, of course, I think this is huge, flagged Trump as potentially laundering the money, and the person that flagged that was actually dismissed. Four of Swords. We're suggesting, though, that Pelosi, this is retreat. So I asked, is it working? It is suggesting potentially with Barr backing off now, those courts now making those decisions. We've got the retreat here. This retreat factor is coming into it. But I also picked up something around Nancy as well, feeling that that she is taking the battle, really the heat of the battle on herself. And we've got Trump here, the autocrat. So this is quite, it's quite serious for Pelosi and the weight of what she's carrying, but it's also suggesting that the emperor here could also in some way have to retreat. Right. hopes and fears. Yeah, okay. So the only fear, well, not the only, but a big fear of Nancy Pelosi's is that she won't be able to stand her ground, and the push will come from her own party. Strength and endurance here. The strength card. I asked, is this working? Yes, she's showing her strength. The deals here are being focused upon. It's not going away anytime soon. And the Eight of Cups, the ultimate outcome here. This is the person that chooses to walk away. Now, what's hidden from our view, of course, is the devil, which is Donald Trump. Is it working? Yes. Yes, it is working, and it's forcing the speed of actioning, which is the signifier card, the Chariot. It's forcing that speed of action, including from the courts. It's maintaining a heightened atmosphere, although it's an atmosphere that is full of anxiety and worry. It's still a heightened atmosphere. You've got, as I said, this truth, the media breaking stories, the Adam Schiff justifyingly opening up more information, particularly around Cohen's testimony around Ivanka Trump. So you've got this Knight of Swords here, the Page of Swords now I feel has moved up to a Knight. Will she be successful is the last question around here. Is this strategy working? Let's ask around the actual impeachment inquiry. Are we going to see an impeachment inquiry? If enough evidence is already out in the public domain, it may not even need to proceed to trial in the Senate. But the impeachment inquiry could be used to get more of that evidence. And that's where Pelosi's strategy, there's the tipping point for Pelosi. Is she fully aware of this? Is she approaching her tipping point? The readings show that there were decisions to be made. Okay, will we have an impeachment inquiry potentially beginning around June, July in the House? Are we going to have an impeachment? Is America going to have an impeachment inquiry in the House to impeach Donald Trump, the preparation to impeach Donald Trump? Will there be an impeachment inquiry in the House in the near future? All right. Okay, so we've got the Star of Hope as the signifier card, suggesting the intent is there. Now, at this point, we're challenged by the Page of Swords. Interestingly enough, I feel the page is morphing into a Knight, but at this point in time, we're only dealing with the present in this part of the reading. It is only a page. I'll bring the laptop down and we'll see what we're going to get. All right, the Foundation card, hard work at this point in time. In the past, we've got the Trump organisation with the Ten of Pentacles. This is what I feel will be a clincher. Will be when those financial records are obtained. At the moment, we've got somebody trying to get away with something. No prizes here for guessing who that is, or who that. It's more than just Trump, isn't it? It's William Barr. Now we've got insecurity. So they're insecure at this point in time. There is this tipping point here. Okay, Three of Wands, suggesting this expansion of the action. Almost like setting that eagle free. So I feel that the tipping point is approaching. I feel she's actively feeling that there is enough insecurity there on the part of the Republicans that enough information is coming out. But the foundation of the reading is still hard work, so we'll look at this carefully. The environment around is the Tower moment. Okay, so this is where I feel that she is... this is where her aim is. Are we going to see an impeachment? Hopes and fears, still only a Page of Wands where you've got inspiration but not enough clout, if you like, to take the battle, to win the battle. We've got Judgment though. the weight, I feel, of the public judgment here upon her and her colleagues to begin that impeachment inquiry. As I said, the tipping point is almost here. We've got the Fool, though, New Beginnings. They're going to have to be very, very careful with this inquiry, and the Seven of Pentacles, re-evaluation in order to achieve the goal. I feel that she's currently thinking and going down that track at the moment. What's hidden from our view is the Six of Pentacles here, and that's suggesting people are wanting stability. So if she were to move toward an impeachment inquiry, it's a bit of a moot point, isn't it? It may never succeed in the Senate. There could be this information that comes out that in the middle of the impeachment inquiry or during the impeachment inquiry that actually renders the whole thing a moot point. It could be shown that Trump actually is conspired with the Russians, has been financially tied to them for many, many years, and you've got somebody in the president's office. It all could be Nancy Pelosi's strategy of waiting could be a moot point, and this is some of what the detractors are saying. Begin the inquiry now. It looks like she's receiving a lot of pressure to do that. It looks like she's not rapidly, but in the immediate future, she's approaching a tipping point where she may have to compromise and actually begin that inquiry. Let's have a look whether it will, if we can get an indication of timelines. Will this impeachment inquiry begin in June, July? Will this impeachment inquiry begin in June, July? Three of Cups, suggesting I ask for a timeline there. It's suggesting within about 3 months. The Five of Wands, suggesting that there's still this faction fighting. There's not the unity there. And we've got the Nine of Swords, the anxiety. Again, this heightened atmosphere of anxiety. However, we're moving toward the majority supporting an impeachment inquiry. Interesting around the language here. I feel that the Democrats, one of their strategies is to actually talk and about this, to get people to understand what it is that in the House this is an impeachment inquiry. We've got the slow drip of information. Well, it's not slow anymore. These secrets needing to emerge, come to the surface of the dark pond. This is underneath the faction fighting, suggesting that, as I said, it might be a moot point to impeach or not to impeach, or have I got enough support to undertake this action, because the weight of the information coming forward may just be so great that it's quite clear that the president can't stay in that position. Not enough clear air around choices at this point in time, but suggesting that within about 3 months there may be, and what's hidden from our view is the Hierophant, which is the Congress itself, suggesting that within about 3 months there probably will be no doubt about whether to impeach or not to impeach. So the financials, the taxes, all critical information to come forward. So thank you for tuning in, viewers, and I'll be back again with another reading soon.